Hey Dragon Slayers, today's video is about the healing power of fasting, part 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Let's get started. For hundreds of thousands of years, our hunter-gatherer ancestors spent their lives having to search for food. Long before farming or agrarian cultures existed, humans were forced to fast involuntarily. Once they found food, they feasted, followed by more days of fasting. Cycling between times of famine and feasting was the way of life for our prehistoric ancestors. Because of this, many scientists believe that these harsh evolutionary conditions created a new genotype within humans, a genotype that gives our bodies the necessary cellular tools to adapt to the cycles of fasting and then feasting, called the thrifty gene hypothesis. It speculates that this genetic coding still exists in us today. It states that when we don't mirror our ancestors' feast and famine cycle behaviors, our health suffers. Supporters of the thrifty gene hypothesis believe that this is a pivotal reason why obesity and diabetes rates have skyrocketed. Our current approach of eating all day without ever dipping into periods of fasting has us going against our own genetic code. A look back in history reveals several examples of how the human body thrives in a fasted state. Although done for spiritual reasons, Ramadan fasting is one of the greatest examples of how the human body positively adapts to long windows of time without food. In fact, some of the best fasting research has been birthed out of studying the Muslim community during Ramadan. We also have evidence that in the 5th century BC, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, used fasting as one of his primary healing tools. During a time when humans believed disease was punishment by the gods, Hippocrates boldly declared that diseases were caused naturally, believing that environmental factors such as diet and other living habits were to blame. Hippocrates used healing therapies that were built around strengthening the body's own innate resistance to disease, and one of those therapies looked much like intermittent fasting and a ketogenic diet. People should exercise on an empty stomach. Their meat should be fat, as the smallest quantity of this is filling, and they should only have one meal a day. He saw it as the answer to everything from epilepsy to strengthening resistance against plague. So, how did this work? Is fasting built into our genetic code? Was Hippocrates onto something thousands of years ago? In this complex modern world where food is available 24/7, is fasting the key healing tool that we've forgotten? Current science is proving that answer to be yes. In this next section, I want to explain what a fasted state looks like in this modern day, the healing mechanisms that are getting turned on while in this state, and how the science is revealing that longer fasts can turn on more healing switches within our cells that may have a magnitude of benefits in women in particular. The best place to start is to understand what it means to fast. And to understand that, you have two fuel systems that your cells get their energy from so you can function: sugar and fat. The first system, called the sugar burner energy system, gets activated when you eat. Eating food raises your blood sugar. Your cells sense this influx of sugar in your blood and use that sugar, called glucose, as fuel for the thousands of functions that they perform. When you stop eating, your blood sugar drops. This slow decline of glucose in your blood triggers your cells to switch over to the second energy system, called the ketogenic energy system, or what we lovingly call the fat burner system. Very much like a hybrid car that switches from gas to electric for fuel, the switch over is when the fasting benefits begin. Although everyone will make this switch differently, Research shows that it takes about 8 hours from your last meal for your body to switch to its fat burning system. If you have never gone later longer than 8 hours without food, there's a likelihood that you may have never experienced the healing benefits of your fat burning energy system. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.